We have some more major developments in the case of baby Emmanuel Haro, the 7-month-old reported missing out of Yucaipa, California. Following the arrest of his parents, Rebecca and Jake Haro, investigators announced that they no longer believe that Emmanuel is alive. And now we're learning that Jake himself may be cooperating with police and the San Bernardino search and rescue team to recover his son's remains. For weeks, many speculated, even right here at Hidden True Crime, that Rebecca might eventually turn on Jake now that the two are separated behind bars, maybe even trying to strike a deal to protect herself. But in a surprising turn, it looks like Jake may have been the first to break. Sunday afternoon, a photo surfaced online that shows Jake Haro dressed in his jail-issued jumpsuit and escorted by investigators as they searched along the westbound shoulder of the 60 freeway near Gilman Springs Road in Moreno Valley. Cadaver dogs were also brought in to assist. And so far, baby Emmanuel has not been located. But the fact that Jake is out there with investigators suggests he may be finally acknowledging what police have believed for some time, that Emmanuel is no longer alive. It also raises the question, could Jake be trying to work out some kind of deal in exchange for leading authorities to his son? And of course, there's also the possibility that he doesn't fully remember where Emmanuel was left, given the vast terrain, or that he could even be stalling just to get a break from his jail cell. That's what many have speculated. But regardless of his motives, what we're seeing is movement, and movement means progress in this case. There have also been reports that the day before Rebecca and Jake were taken into custody, Riverside County Sheriff's deputies responded to a call about possible abuse in Moreno Valley. Well, this wasn't at the couple's home in Cabazon. Authorities confirmed that the call was directly connected to the Haro family. And at this point, details, they're limited. And investigators have only said that the abuse investigation is ongoing. What we do know is that the Haro's 2-year-old child has already been removed from the home for safety. But there's also speculation that the call may tie back to Jake's ex-wife, who recently filed a domestic violence protection order against Jake for herself and their son Eli. It's not clear yet if those allegations are what triggered the deputy's visit or if there's another layer to the story. But in a live interview I did Sunday night with Ahmed Bayozo, citizen journalist with On the Tira, he speculated on possibilities. And you can find that interview in the full playlist of this case. That is linked, as always, in the episode description. Well, we have also learned, this is interesting, that Rebecca has now given her very first interview from behind bars. On Sunday morning, she sat down in the visitor area of the Robert Presley Detention Center in Riverside. And even from jail, she stuck firmly to her story. Yeah, the kidnapping story. The story that Emmanuel was kidnapped and she wishes she could be out searching for him. Through tears, she reportedly said, quote, "I will not give up. I will not give up on my baby," end quote. But that statement feels especially jarring now, given the latest developments like murder charges and the fact that Jake may actually be helping investigators search for Emmanuel's remains. When asked about claims that just days before reporting Emmanuel missing, she had gone into the Big Five sporting goods store and told employees her car had been broken into while asking about surveillance cameras, Rebecca shook her head and denied it. She was asked that, she denied it. She doubled down again, saying all she wanted was to be free so she could look for her child. Rebecca also opened up a bit about her personal life, saying that she and Jake were married in 2021 and that she knew about his prior abuse case at the time. Still, she described their relationship as wonderful. Yes, that's in quotes, wonderful, insisting that Jake has always treated her well as her teenage child from a previous relationship, their 2-year-old daughter, and Emmanuel, that Jake allegedly treated them all well. She even called him a good dad, adding that he would never hurt a baby. That's in quotes. He would never hurt a baby, and a good dad. That statement raises a lot of eyebrows, including mine, especially when you consider Jake's history. He and his ex-wife were both charged in a horrific abuse case involving their daughter, Carolina Rose, who has since been adopted, renamed Promise Faith, and now lives with permanent disabilities because of the abuse that she endured. Severe, severe disabilities. Rebecca didn't even bring up her two older daughters at all during this interview. She did, however, confirm that she has an attorney representing her, though she declined to share the name of said attorney. There's also some strange new developments surrounding the Haro home itself. And honestly, this one sounds like something straight out of a movie. Not long after Jake and Rebecca were arrested, deputies say they had to return to the house following an apparent break-in. And here's where it gets even more bizarre. Reports surfaced that someone may have actually been trying to sell tours of the property, treating the active crime scene like some kind of twisted attraction, while the Haros sit in jail facing murder charges. According to authorities, someone forced their way in through the back door of the residence, and soon after, videos started popping up online. One TikTok clip shows sheriff's deputies at the scene with groups of people gathered at the gate after the neighbor had called in to report the break-in. Take a look.
Inside there.
We were right here because the guy kept trying to offer people tours.
Then why would you think that's okay? Why would you think that's physically okay? Mentally okay? This is the place.
You say, because I didn't go in their house, and you're telling people I went in their house.
Am I pointing at you? No.
You did a minute ago.
Yes, you did.
But
Yeah, you
whoever, I'm going like
Yeah,
this.
but your whatever could make a big mistake for me. So you should think about it.
On the street.
You making this ruckus out here is a disgrace.
You guys are acting like this is a fucking circus.
My name in this shit. I didn't go in nobody's fucking house. I've been standing there the whole time. I told them. I did walk right there. But that's not their property. But I did not go in their yard.
A bone, but we don't know what that bone was. Like an arm bone, a neck bone, a leg bone. It was a bone, just a rib bone. It was in the back. Okay, so in the backyard, I don't know. There's no fence blocking it off. So there is a fence blocking where that door is open, and that's where I saw those two white girls go in. And they told straight out. They told all of us they wanted to go inside the house and video it. So I know it was them, but they went in the whole house.
Well,
And that's I wouldn't want to go in the house. Like, there's no way I would go inside. That's just creepy to me.
The sheriff's department has since confirmed that the home was resecured, and detectives are now actively investigating who was behind this alleged tour business. Officials are reminding the public that entering or tampering with a crime scene is a serious criminal offense. And in this case, the Haro residence is considered a key piece of evidence in this ongoing investigation. An investigation, I might add, that is about a murdered baby. Any unauthorized entry not only breaks the law, but it also risks contaminating evidence and jeopardizing the case, which means jeopardizing justice for little Emmanuel. We've also learned quite a bit about Jake's attorney, Vincent Hughes, who is widely regarded as one of the top criminal defense lawyers in the San Bernardino area. Now, I know that some people have sort of made fun of him and how he acted while being interviewed by Ashley Banfield on News Nation, but listen to this. Over the past several years, Hughes has secured dismissals in cases ranging from misdemeanor domestic violence, reckless driving, abuse, and prostitution charges to much more serious felony allegations like rape and DUI. In multiple felony cases, including drug and firearm possession, child cruelty, and domestic violence, he has successfully negotiated reductions to misdemeanors or probation, helping clients avoid lengthy prison sentences. Hughes has also handled high-stakes drug cases, including one involving over 80 pounds of methamphetamine, where a client facing nearly 40 years in prison instead received probation. He's even protected the professional licenses of clients, such as commercial drivers and nurses, by reducing DUI charges. Overall, his track record shows a consistent ability to minimize penalties, secure dismissals, and shield clients from the harshest consequences of the criminal justice system. This could explain why Jake chose him as a lawyer, though some reports suggest that Hughes may have actually sought Jake out and is representing him pro bono. And in true crime terms, it's certainly interesting, right? That everyone is entitled to a defense and entitled to a good defense. But it does raise questions why an attorney would take on a client with a documented history of child abuse in a potential murder case free of charge. It's possible that maybe Hughes sees this as an opportunity to bolster his reputation with high profile cases. And given everything we know, Jake is going to need a strong defense, to say the least. Well, that's it for this Monday, which is actually quite a bit. It's amazing how much information is coming out day to day on this case. And we will continue to cover this case as it unfolds. So please hit subscribe, because until Emmanuel gets the justice he deserves, we will be following this story. And remember also to check out my live interview from Sunday evening with Ahmed from On the Tira. He gives us incredible insight to what locals are seeing and the tips that he is receiving while reporting on the scene.